You want to be hardcore, you want to be extreme. Well, if you're like the Sandman, then you're listening to the podcast Drunk Wrestling History, dudes. And please be drunk when you hear it. Peace, I'm out.
I kept Kleenex in business in the late 90s.
Mike Awesome might have fucked Tanaka's wife.
But just say no to this pay-per-view.
Wait, were you making a death joke?
Told you we should have gone to the donkey show.
Stop choking yourself. It's either death or defecation.
Woo!
What's up, Drunk Marks? Welcome to this week's episode of Drunk Wrestling History. I'm your designated host, Adam, and with us, as always, are the Drunk Wrestling Historians themselves.
This is Eddie, Woozle Wuzzle.
And this is Scott. It's Ghetto Blaster time, fool.
Just want to welcome all of you. We're coming to you from the Drunk Wrestling History Drunker Dome, where we have moved our recording sessions. We've got a fun episode planned for you today. In the meantime, what do we have to wash ourselves down with?
I'm drinking a Rodenbach Classic Belgian Sour Ale that you got for me.
And also a beautiful gift from Adam, Sonoma Springs Brewing Company. This one is called Noise Complaint. It is a tropical West Coast IPA, and it's delicious. So, cheers, brothers.
Chaim.
Salud.
I got Hank's Gourmet Root Beer from Philadelphia. Total Wine and More has been a recent interest of mine.
If it's called Hank's, it's classy as fuck.
Exactly.
Hank's a classy guy.
Absolutely. The classiest.
I think I remember from like one of the previous recordings, this was my favorite of the four, so just caved in again. Before we get into it, just a few reminders for all of you. If you need to look sexy as fuck, I use the word, not the abbreviation.
You're a real man.
I know. We increased the budget a little bit out of the Performance Center into the Drunker Dome. Therefore, add a few more syllables. But get those Drunk Wrestling History t-shirts on whatamaneuver.net. I want to correct myself from a previous episode of saying they're mass-produced something or whatever, some stupid shit I said. These are great quality, on-demand printed shirts when you order. I think I said like mass produced on demand, which contrasts each other. But yeah, really, really soft quality. You're going to look awesome wearing these, especially if you're into wrestling, into drinking. This goes well for you. So make sure that you head over there, whatamaneuver.net.
Yeah, I just have a couple of quick things. The first thing is we are officially starting with with last week's episode. I don't know if you want to call it last week's episode or this week's episode, but we are officially going back to weekly episodes starting now. We figured out kind of between being able, now that we can get together again, we have our social bubble out here in California where you can see 12 people or whatever it is. And then the FaceTime recording ended up working out pretty well, so we figured we can go back to weekly. Now, there are going to be times where we don't have a show just because shit happens and we don't get around and we don't get around to recording.
Maybe we drank too much.
Maybe someone went to Taco Bell the night before.
It happens.
I'm sure at some point we'll have to take a week off here and there, but in general, we're going back to weekly. We're recording a couple times in the next month, and I think we're going to have enough stuff for that to get through the rest of the year and into the beginning of next year. So we should be pretty much, most of the time you can count on us being up every Friday. I also want to say congratulations to Jeff for winning our last giveaway. We've done 2 giveaways now. He's won both of them.
He should start a streak like The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah, right.
He should just win every contest.
Yeah, he's the Undertaker of drunk giveaways.
He really is, yes.
So, he was the first one to respond with, it was the Adam with the
referee camera.
The referee camera. He knew which pay-per-view we were doing an episode on. So, congratulations to him. So we've never done this before, but, and I'm not going to turn this into a regular thing because most of the people I follow on Twitter are, I don't know. The people I follow on Twitter are fine, but nobody's as funny as this fucking guy. So I just wanted to point out the funniest tweet I saw this week. It was from a guy called Monkey B Block, right? Does that mean something that I don't know?
No, but I just know the tweet that you're referring to.
You know the tweet, right?
Because you sent it to me, yeah.
So he's at monkey_buckles. I don't know what any of this shit means, but his tweet said, to be To be fair to TJP, I could see the comparison between him and Eddie Guerrero. They both had as many good matches in the last 5 years. And it took me a second to get that tweet, and when I got it, it's the funniest shit I've ever read.
That's savage as fuck, dude.
Yeah, so I really just wanted to put that out there.
Cheers to Monkey Buckles.
I don't even know if he follows
Solid.
us. I don't know if he listens to the show, but
It doesn't matter. That's a solid tweet.
yeah, that was a great tweet.
Follow or not. Hey.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Also, I don't know if anyone here. Yeah, I'll have a sip too. I don't know if you guys know this, but this week is 3 years since Bobby Heenan died.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point that out and just.
Well, let's also
Saw-
point
I saw
out you have a
tweeted
Bobby Heenan figure.
Mike Tenay,
You have a
yeah.
Bobby Heenan figure? Yeah, Mike Tenay tweeted about it. That was where I saw it. Yeah. So we love Bobby Heenan more than anyone on this show.
Very
so
true.
Just wanted to. Just
Greatest
mention
performer
that.
of all time.
Greatest performer of all time.
And we have a podcast about it. Go back and download that episode where we talk about why he is the greatest performer in wrestling of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's about it. I think we're ready to get into the show. Adam?
Let's do this. Maybe this is debate worthy. It's going to be interesting how we assemble this. This week, we are going to be ranking all of Hulk Hogan's world title reigns. So, for context, there are 12 that we are going to be using. This is a combination between WWF and WCW. There are two title reigns that were like corrected within the day or within like an extremely short period of time, just to cover the basis. And for some of you who may decide to go like, "Hey, don't you remember that title reign?" Those aren't being counted, and you can move on with your life.
Yeah, we toss those ones because they're just insignificant.
Yeah,
They
so
matter.
don't tweet us. We're coming for you.
Brother. So we've each compiled our list depending on our own translations of what counts as the quality of each of Hogan's title reigns. And then we're going to try to come to a cumulative consensus of how it's properly ranked based on each of these factors and based on how we present them.
And that's where we'll become master debaters.
And with this may or may not work. I really don't know. Like the goal is to come to an agreement on these, but this might end up being totally inconclusive.
Well, two of the three of us are drunk. So,
Well, I'm not drunk yet. Well, I'm drunk. Yeah, I'm just now getting drunk. Like,
well, me too.
yeah.
So
Well,
it's no longer buzzed wrestling history.
Yeah.
It's officially drunk wrestling history.
and slightly hungover wrestling history.
Well, I'm a professional, so I didn't drink last night.
Yeah, well, I had to get through that fucking pay-per-view that we're going to be reviewing later on.
I hear you, brother.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to run through his 12 official and 2 unofficial
Sure.
title reigns?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
Okay, so let's start out with the 2 that don't count. Okay, so there were 12 official title reigns, but 2 of them are, 14, but 2 of them are thrown out. So there's 12 official. The 2 that were thrown out, one of them he defeated Sting. And that was on December 29th, 1997, which would have been maybe a week after Starrcade 97. And he was stripped of the title on January 8th, 98. So that is technically reign number 9. We're not counting that shit. The other one we're not counting is what would be his 13th reign. And that would be in WCW again. And that would be the infamous Bash at the Beach 2000, where Jeff Jarrett entered the ring, laid down, Hogan pinned him. And then later in the match, there was later in the card, there was a match between Jeff Jarrett and Booker T. That's out. That doesn't count. So neither of those reigns are being counted in the official 12. So let's start off with his first reign, which, gentlemen, I think we can agree this was number 1.
I don't know how anything other than this could be number 1.
If you argue against this as being number 1, probably not a wrestling fan.
Or maybe you're a certain age, like maybe you were too young to have seen any of it. I guess
Maybe,
like,
but just read about it,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but say you're like 10 years younger than us, right? And you started watching wrestling in the mid 90s. So this is already 10 years in the past at this point.
It
so
is.
maybe, but yeah, you're right though. If you read it, I mean, so he was champion for 1,474 days.
Dude,
That alone.
do the quick math.
Right. There have only been maybe 2 or 3 title reigns longer than that. I guess Bruno would have had
Yeah,
one
Bruno
or
was
two.
longer. It was like 6 years or some shit.
And the second one was maybe longer too.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. And then
Yeah.
Backlund might have been just short of this. I'm not sure. Backlund had a long
Yeah,
ass time.
Backlund was like 3 years, I think.
Okay, so the only other one that would be longer would be Moolah. But Moolah actually owned that championship, so you can't even really count that.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
now
mean?
granted, that was before the age of pay-per-view.
Exactly.
So I'm sure things would have been a lot different back then had pay-per-view existed.
Mm-hmm,
But all that aside, 1,500 fucking days as champion?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
like almost 5 years.
I would say it's the best title reign of the last...
Of my generation, it's the biggest title reign.
It's the biggest title
ever.
reign of the last 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
as
all right.
long as I've been watching wrestling, which is 84, 85,
Right.
there's no bigger title reign.
Yeah.
And given what it did for the business, the birth of Hulkamania, Rock and Wrestling, WrestleMania would not be a
the
thing.
stardom and the intention drawn not just towards WWF, but towards the industry as a whole.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
becoming
Yeah.
a mainstream thing. First reign, defeated Iron Sheik on January 23rd, 1984. Lost the title in very controversial fashion to Andre the Giant on February 5th, 1988. As Ed, you said, 1,474 days as world champion. My rank, number one.
Absolutely. And you're right. It was very controversial fashion. I mean, nobody ever had to get plastic surgery before for someone to lose a title. Like,
Hey,
this was
kudos to that
unprecedented.
ref.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's dedication to your craft.
Yeah, above and beyond his job description. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Adam, I'm assuming you agree with this one?
Yeah, so do I just write it on here? Because yeah, that doesn't.
No, I wrote it. So
We have sticky notes.
Yeah, so we have Post-its on the table, and I just wrote 1 through 12 on each one. No,
Adam-
just put
Adam,
just
look
put
at
them
his
in,
two.
No,
Tell the listening crowd
just put them in order.
how
You know,
good
and
his
just
two is.
physically move them around.
Oh,
You don't have to write anything on
Oh,
it.
these represent the reigns that he had.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought these were the ranks. Okay, yes, totally agree about that one.
Adam, would you like to describe his two to the listening audience? His two on the sticky note. It looks like the Russian hammer and sickle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get a picture of this on Twitter really quick.
Yeah, I'm a little bit drunk, and my handwriting is shit when I'm sober. So I drew half a
So-
two, and then I drew like a line across it to complete said two.
So-
and yeah, it ended up looking like a fucking hammer and sickle.
Or to the clean audience, it looks like a 3/4 letter Q.
Yes.
It could also be there could be some tips on how to look at this, pun intended. Because you could see there's a little bit of okay, never mind. But
Okay, so number one is his very first title reign, defeating the Iron Sheik.
Absolutely.
And if you are a fan of wrestling, I don't know how you could argue against that. No matter when you started, when you finished watching wrestling, that's number one. His second official WWF title reign began on April 2nd, 1989, defeated the great Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5. Lost the title to the Ultimate Warrior on April 1st, 1990 at WrestleMania 6. Total days of that reign, 364, 1 day shy of a full calendar year.
So right now, I want to bring in. I should have done it on the first one. So I don't know what kind of data you. So you have a spreadsheet, right?
I have schemes and schematics.
Okay, I made a spreadsheet of all these title reigns. It was like very advanced for me. I had to have Carissa help me out with it.
That's not a very drunk thing to do.
again, the budget
No.
went up here at the Drunker Dome.
Yes, we now have numbers for Apple.
Fuck Excel.
So what I did is, in addition to how long it was, I also put a few highlights, like of who he worked with and who he beat in that time.
Okay, so you did way more research than I, because I just have who he beat.
That's typically how the show goes. I do the research, and you just kind of phone it in.
Dude, I'm the color commentator of this thing.
Yeah, right. So the first one, just really quick, he beat Roddy Piper, he beat Paul Orndorff, he beat Bundy, he beat Andre. He headlined the first 3 WrestleManias during that title reign.
Yes, he
so
did.
I should have said that before. So now with this second one, right, he beat Macho Man. And then I kind of looked at what he did, because there was only 4 pay-per-views a year at the time. So I looked at what he did on Saturday
Right.
Night's Main Events as well, because those would have been like the 80s equivalent of the monthly pay-per-views now.
Right.
So in that year, he beat Macho Man by countout on a Saturday Night's Main Event. That was the year where he had the cage match with Boss Man, which is my favorite cage match of all time.
That cage match is crazy.
Suplex Boss Man off the top of the fucking cage.
He won a Royal Rumble, too.
He won a Royal Rumble, which he's the only person as champion to ever have done that, right?
That would be correct.
Yeah. Okay. He beat Honky Tonk Man, who was no fucking joke at the time.
Oh, dude,
you know?
Honky Tonky Man was
Right?
Yeah, he was at the top of his game. Then.
Yeah, he was like a gimmick, like kind of a bit of a comedy act, but I mean, he's still the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Right.
He also beat Zeus. So in that same year, so I have this as number 2.
Okay, I have that as number 5.
Okay. So now we got a show.
Now we become master debaters.
Right.
This is where it begins. Whip it out.
Right. Yeah.
Adam, where do you have this one? So his second reign you have as number 2.
I do, because for those reasons. I mean, actually, so
But it was less than a year.
Yeah, but I think that's the only. I think he's only had one that was over a year, right?
No.
Oh, am I wrong about that?
Yeah.
Which one was longer than
He's
a
got
year?
a couple. Well, I mean, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
But, okay, so
get
you
to
have
that
this as number 2.
I have this as number 2.
I have
and
this as 5.
So I counted.
And I have this as 2.
Okay, so the way I ranked him was I took. I weighted it most heavily toward the length of the reign.
Okay.
But I also really took into account what he did during that reign, because what good's a reign if you don't really do shit during it. So I gave him a lot of credit for winning the Royal Rumble.
And in terms of who he beat and who he lost it to, I could see where you would come in with this at number 2, because Savage, obviously in '89,
Right.
was, you could argue at the top of being Randy Savage. So maybe this is where he kind of peaked.
Well, he won it from the number 3 guy in the company, and he lost it to the number 2 guy in the company.
Well, and he was passing the torch too, because he was going off to make movies. Hogan
Yeah.
was going to become a movie star, right?
Right.
So he's like, let's just get the next guy in wrestling on his way. He was passing. He was doing things the right way.
Yeah.
And he passed the torch in the best way possible.
Right. He did do the spot with the ref bump to protect himself.
Of course he did.
But that's
Of
Hogan.
course he did.
But
That-
you know what? Hogan was smart.
Maybe he knew like 6 years later, hey, I might have this NWO thing going on. Got to protect the gimmick, brother.
Yeah.
All right, so I have this as 5. You and Adam have this as number 2. So democratically, we should put this as number 2, but maybe move on to the third reign and
We'll move on and
see what
yeah.
happens.
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
See how to move. All right.
Okay.
So this stays on standby.
Third reign. Official. WWF defeated Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7, March 24th, 1991. Lost to The Undertaker. Survivor Series. November 27th, 1991. Total length of the reign, 248 days.
So I have this. This is my number 5.
Okay, this is my number 6, so we're close.
Okay, we're close. What about you, Adam?
This is my number 6.
Okay, so we're all kind of in the neighborhood on that one.
Yeah, okay.
right.
I sort of expected that. Yeah, he didn't really do a whole lot as champion because he had it. Yeah, 248 days. He lost it in the Survivor Series.
Right. Really
He had
faced
a-
Slaughter a lot.
He had a lot of matches with Slaughter, and he
Yeah.
had a tag match at SummerSlam.
Right.
So that would have been the one big show in between his win and his loss.
Right.
Was SummerSlam. So, okay. So,
We're close on that one.
yeah.
Fourth.
I'll tell you what. Just to simplify this, I'll go with 6, and we can put this one in the 6th place.
Okay, so 6 is official.
Yeah.
6 is on the board.
So put his number 3 and 6 in this number 6 position.
Wait. This is like WCW. Math is hard. Hold up.
I didn't. You
On
know,
the
I
6th reign, or no?
I
the
was
third
really-
reign, third reign in the 6th position.
Yes.
yes.
Okay,
I really underestimated how complicated Post-it notes with numbers are.
Oh, no, this is great. This is exactly how this should go. It is a drunk wrestling history show, folks. This is how we reason. Fourth official WWF reign. Defeated The Undertaker. Tuesday in Texas, December 3rd, 1991. Title vacated December 7th, 1991. Total days as champion, 4. My rank, 11.
Okay, I ranked it 12.
7.
7?
7. A 4-day reign where he defeated nobody in between. 7.
And didn't even lose it to anyone?
To Adam's credit, he became a fan in 2000.
Okay, all right. Well,
So WCW wasn't even on his radar, really. Like,
So, I mean, I'm trying to. I'm trying to find like more of like
Your sense?
the impact of or that was produced with each of his title reigns. I think there were some that were worse than this. Maybe like a 4-day reign. I see it as more neutral. Like, you got the title. Let me take it away. You didn't do shit.
Is it because he beat The Undertaker? Is that why that
No.
weighted into number 7?
No.
It
Okay.
shouldn't be because Undertaker was
Was
new.
not a big deal yet.
He'd only been there a year.
Right.
I mean,
Wow,
I would
7.
I would say this is more of like on the value of -1, 0, and 1 being positive. I would put this as a 0. Literally nothing happened. That's why this is more of a
Okay.
very neutral.
I get what
reign
you're
for me.
saying.
Yeah,
Nothing good happened, but nothing bad happened.
exactly.
Okay.
No, but with your evidence, I mean, I could definitely move it aside because of
I had it as 11 because, like Ed said, Undertaker was not a big deal at this
Yeah.
point. This, in my mind, this made The Undertaker.
Right. Undertaker's the one who got over, and it was also kind of a
Yes.
fuck finish because who was it? Flair got involved, right?
Right, correct.
Yeah, like Hogan didn't even beat him clean,
right.
right? It was a bullshit win, and he got
Yes.
stripped of it 4 days later.
But it made Undertaker as a main event player because he's officially been heavyweight champion.
Right.
But
So-
it didn't do shit for Hogan. Like,
Yeah.
to me, I have this ranked as 11, and we're going to go into official reign number 5 here.
Okay.
Defeated Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9, April 4th, 1993. Lost to Yokozuna at King of the Ring, June 13th, 1993. Total days as champion, 70. I have this ranked as number 12 for me.
Wow, I have this ranked at 7. We are not even close. We're
and
way.
I have
way
this
over.
at 9.
Okay.
Well, to me, because he won the belt, not even in an official match. So that was already a knock against
Well,
this
no, it
thing.
was an official match, and it was an impromptu match.
Garbage, dude.
It was garbage.
Garbage. And he had one defense, and it was to Yokozuna, and he lost.
Yeah.
To me, this was his worst. A step above his Undertaker.
Yeah, I guess the only reason I gave it a little bit higher was because he beat Yoko, which Yoko at the time was a monster.
Who had already wrestled
know.
a match against Brett,
Well, yeah,
the top guy in the company.
yeah. That's.
But did
okay.
he really beat Yoko, or was it because Fuji nailed him? And
Yeah, and Fuji threw salt in his
Hogan-
eyes
Hogan took
after he
advantage?
wrestled Brett.
All right, you guys are making good points.
This is why it's my last. He defeated them in quote unquote match. Had no defenses in between from WrestleMania to King of the Ring, and then lost it in his first defense.
Okay, I'll agree with you. I'll put this at 12, and I'll move the other one to 11 because I think you're right. Because at least he beat Undertaker like in a.
That was a match.
It was a match. It
Yeah.
wasn't, and it wasn't after Undertaker had just beaten the champion. So,
Yeah,
okay.
they both came in fresh.
All right.
Okay, so we are in agreement on his 4th reign and his 5th reign at 11 and 12.
I think so.
Okay. And we also agreed on his 3rd reign being at number 6.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to point out I'm giving in a little easily on this.
You really are.
Yeah. Well,
I blame the bullet
Well, I'm
bourbon.
looking at the clock, and we're trying to keep this to 45 minutes.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good shape so far.
6th official reign. This would be in now WCW, who Hogan had defected to in the summer of 94. Defeated Ric Flair on July 17th, 1994. Lost to the Giant on October 29th, 1995. Length of reign, 469 days.
Okay, so I have this at number 4.
I do as well.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. And just some really brief highlights. He won it from Flair, which that's a big deal. He beat Flair in a cage. He beat the Butcher, whoever the fuck that was. He beat Vader by DQ. He beat Vader in a strap match, which is I can't believe Hogan did a strap match. He won a tag match, but I forget who it was with. He beat Vader in a cage. He won War Games, and he
Did you
won
see
that.
similarities to WWF during that first reign?
Yeah, right. They made him really
They're
strong.
feeding him guys.
Right, it was exactly, yeah.
There was a lot of celebrity involved in his title win. Shaq, Mr. T. They're
Right.
really doing it up like WrestleMania with the celebrities, feeding him big guys, Vader, the Butcher, Kevin Sullivan,
Yeah.
the Shark. Like, they're just feeding him guys to beat. There was a lot of similarity between this and his WWF reign.
Right, and I kept track of how many pay-per-views he wrestled on. Or I don't have the number of pay-per-views, but he skipped only 2 in that whole time.
There you go.
So
I have this
he
at
was
4.
a very active champion.
Yes, he was. So we have 1, 6, 11, 12, and 4 locked in.
Okay,
Wow.
moving right along.
Exact
Next up.
position that I had. Yeah.
Seventh official reign, again, WCW, defeated the Giant on August 10th, 1996. Held the title until August 4th, 1997, where he lost it to Lex Luger. Total days as champion, 359. And I'm going to jump into his 8th reign because these two really link up. Defeated Lex Luger on August 9th, which would be 5 days after he lost it. Held that title until December 28th, 1997, which Starrcade 97, where he lost the title to Sting. First reign in his 7th would be 359 days. 8th reign, 141 days. So that combined, you're looking at 500 days as champion. I combined those two, really. I didn't count them as two separate reigns because, 5 days between championships. I have that as my number 2.
Wow. Okay, so I have those as I didn't combine them.
Okay.
But just to make it simple, I have them at 4 and 5.
Okay.
So we could just call it 4 and
I
just not
have
have
that.
5. Yeah, what do you have?
I have 3 and 4 because I did that same thing. I pretty much combined them.
Okay.
So I have this tied because the birth of the NWO happened in June of 96. Hogan became champion in August of that year, and I felt really solidified the NWO as that group at the top of the card. He didn't need to be champion necessarily.
Right.
But it made the NWO a lot cooler and a lot more formidable that he was heavyweight champion and head of the NWO. That's why I combined those two and gave it number 2. That, to me, made the WCW as formidable as WWF in 85. That made them ascend to where they almost knocked WWF out of business.
Okay, so you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I'll move it to 2.
Wow.
And just combine because you're
Are
totally
you just
right.
being nice?
No, honest. This one, no, a couple of them I have been, I'll say it's 2. Adam still has his input, but I wasn't really taking into account the NWO part of it.
It really
You're
solidified it, right?
Yeah, it really did, and you're right. This is when they started winning the ratings war.
Yes.
So yeah, I should have given this more credit than I did.
Like, you got to give Hogan credit here. Love him or hate him, the guy reinvented himself.
Yeah, he's no fucking joke, dude.
I
It
mean,
was
to
an
go.
impactful reign. Like there was he won this title, created the face of it literally and figuratively, and he was just still able to grow. This next to his first title reign, I'd say it's more of like quality of bringing in the business, and then this second one of him just being Hogan and exercising his power.
Well, and he showed in his first reign in the WWF what he could do as a face.
Yeah,
This was the polar opposite, where he showed what he could do as a heel.
and
And just shows
nobody
his
ever
range.
saw it coming. You never.
Nobody.
I didn't watch at the time, but I remember hearing at school Hogan turned heel. I was like, what? You got to be fucking
Yeah.
kidding me.
Yeah,
and
you
you're right.
never
he did.
saw it happening.
And you're right. He did. He reinvented himself completely, and he did do that several times. He
Yeah.
he did it. I mean, he reinvented himself in WWF.
He did.
After coming from AEW,
AWA.
AWA.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
And then he reinvented himself as a heel,
Yeah.
and then he reinvented himself as a babyface when he banged Bubba the Love Sponge's wife.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So 2 and 3.
Lucky.
Is that our consensus?
No, well, he kind of combined them into one.
I kind of rolled him into one,
So-
and I had a tie. So I don't actually have a number 3 on my list. I have a number 4. And that would have been where he defeated Ric Flair. And we agreed
Okay,
on
let's
that
make it simple. Let's make it 2 and 3.
Okay,
Because it is 2
yeah.
reigns, and we can put them in order, in chronological order, because one was shorter than the other.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So make
Yeah.
the 7th reign the number
His
2.
first one.
Okay,
Or
I'm gonna grab a beer
first
while you
between
get started
those
on the
two.
next one.
Okay, it's keeping it
Would
professional.
that
here, folks.
would that also mean his second WWE reign becomes number 4?
Well, we haven't.
Or
Well,
we haven't. gotten to that.
okay, because I have it at 5. So, well, here's the conversation now. Is his second reign in the WWF greater than his
Greater than
his
NWO.
first win in WCW?
What?
So where we have the difference in 4 and 5 now is his second reign in the WWF, where he defeated Savage at 5, versus his 6th reign official, which would be his first reign in WCW, where he beat Flair and became champion of WCW, and really started to make them like a legitimate. Okay, WCW is like a player now. They have Hogan.
Wait, you're talking about that title reign versus the one where he beat Macho Man?
Right.
Yeah, I think we agreed we put this one in front of Macho Man.
The WCW reign.
Yeah.
Okay, so the WCW reign, Adam, which would be his 6th official reign, would be number 4. And then his second reign as WWF champion would be number 5.
Adam's as confused as I am.
Then what's 2?
Number 2 is going to be his 7. His 7th reign. Yep, so 7, 8, correct. And then 2. And then 6. Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Why do
2
we-
and
okay,
6.
there we go.
I knew
Yeah.
this was going to be the most complicated podcast anyone's ever done. When
We'll
you
wrap it up
suggested
for everyone. For those lost at home like us here at the table,
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up for you guys.
I mean, you're trying to do long division in your head while you're in your car heading
we need
to
Scott
work.
Steiner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taking a picture so everybody can see how fucked up this really is.
Yeah.
9th official reign, WCW.
Fiasco.
Defeated Randy Savage on April 20th, 1998. Lost to Goldberg on July, which was free on a Monday Nitro, which is fucking insane. Lost to Goldberg on July 6th, 1998. Total length of reign, 77 days. I have this as my number 7.
Okay, I have it number 8.
That's close.
Yeah.
That's close. So my argument for this was, it's kind of the same as what would be reign number 6, but basically you're switching out Undertaker for Goldberg. Goldberg already became like the biggest star on the WCW's roster, but Hogan basically giving him the title was his big exclamation point. Like, he was making the next big guy in the company. So that's why I put it as number 7.
Okay.
This is overall. Which one overall?
Well, I have it as my 7.
No, he's saying which title reign was
Title
it?
reign.
Oh, number 9.
Okay, just to make sure, because I would also have 7 if that's the case.
Okay.
Okay, I'll agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, next, his 10th official reign, again in WCW, defeated Kevin Nash on January 4th, 1999. And you may remember this as, well, I know Ricochet really remembers this as the finger poke of doom. Lost to Ric Flair on March 14th, 1999. Length of reign, 69 days. I have this as my number 10.
I was just thinking about the Ricochet's finger poke of doom, and then you said 69 and I'm a little
days,
drunk.
yeah. It all
And
tied
I'm like
together
and I'm like a
wonderfully.
child.
Well, we are master debaters. I have this as my number 10.
Okay, I have it as 9. What do you
I
have?
have it at the bottom for 12.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, you have this at 12.
Is it because of how it came to be with the finger poke of
of
doom?
how it came to be and the effects
Yeah.
of it. I think just this particular one just started the entire ripple effect that eventually dissolved WCW.
That's true.
Just the
I don't disagree with that.
there's the entire concept of like there's now Brock Lesnar, who's always holding a heavyweight title hostage and he works part-time. I would say like WCW invested so much money in Hogan that they're just going to ruin the entire industry for any upcomer like Diamond Dallas Page and Booker T and any other ones who are potential heavyweights that really deserve that title, except they didn't get as many reigns in WCW because Hogan kept getting it. And so I think this was probably the one where I think the crowd was like, Hogan, cool, but god damn it.
Enough.
That's it.
Yeah,
exactly.
enough.
So yeah, that's why I put it on the bottom, because this particular title reign dissolved the company.
Well,
It didn't dissolve the company, but it started
But
the
it
ball
was a
rolling.
big factor.
but it did get better for Hogan, right? Because he did have a face turn during the next title reign. So it wasn't the end of Hogan and the company. Technically, there was still a reign left for Hogan in there.
But the momentum was already started. I mean, yeah, he could
In
definitely
99,
turn
yes.
face, but things started moving that direction towards dissolution.
Okay, would you be willing to put this at number 10?
I have it at 10. That's where it's my number 10.
Okay, it's my number 10 also, because we already have 11 and 12 dictated as such.
I would be willing to.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have this at number 10.
Cool. I don't want to end up with a hung jury
at
type
least for-
situation.
No, because at least
I want a regular jury.
if it's in that bottom part, then that's actually fine.
Yeah, I actually, in my notes, I wrote that I put it number 10, but I put, I docked it a couple spots because of the finger poke of doom, too.
Yeah, that was horrible.
right,
And
I'm
I
not-
originally, when I looked at this, had that at number 12. And then I looked at his WWF reigns, and I was like, oh, fuck, those were way worse.
Yeah, I mean, how do you...
Like, okay, it was bullshit the way it went down. It's shitty, but, I mean, at the same time, I can't rank it as the worst.
Yeah.
Because he did still have a 70-day reign. And
exactly.
And look, ultimately, at the end of this reign, he put over Ric Flair, which hadn't happened yet.
That's
he
true.
owed
That's
Ric
true.
Flair one in my mind.
Yeah.
And he gave it back to him, and that's why I couldn't rank it as last.
That's a good point. That was a cage match, too.
Yeah, and he finally gave Flair that win. So that's why I didn't shit all over him and put this at 12.
Yeah.
All right. So, 11th official reign, again, WCW, and this would be his last WCW title win. Defeated Randy Savage on July 12th, 1999. Lost to Sting, and this would be his run where he turned face during the title run. Lost to Sting on September 12th, 1999. Official length of reign, 62 days. I have this as my number 8. And only because of the face turn, the rebirth of Hulkamania. That's why I gave this number 8.
So I numbered these differently. I numbered them 1 through 6 WWE and 1 through 6 WCW.
Oh, you had them separate then?
I don't know why. I mean, there was no reason I don't know why I did it that way. I wish I would have talked to you about this first. What number reign would that be for WCW?
This would be...
Because I'm lost.
Oh, this would be his last one, number 6.
Okay, 6. You had that what number?
Total overall, number 8.
Okay, I have a number 9.
Okay.
What about you?
That's
Adam?
pretty close.
I had it as second to last. So
11?
Yeah, as 11. So in the list that we made, I would be willing to move it up to 9.
And I only put
Okay.
this as high as 8, and I could flip 8 and 9. I'm good at putting it at 9.
Yeah.
The only reason I put it as 8, the rebirth of Hulkamania, it showed that there was still money to be made with the Hulk Hogan Hulkamania character.
Now, see, I didn't realize that. So
Yeah.
I might have put it higher if I realized that.
Okay. That's why I put it at 8. I mean, there wasn't a big difference to me between 8 and 9 on my list. Spoiler, his next one is number 9 for me.
Okay.
But because they showed that there was still money in the Hulkamania character, which WWF/WWE ended up making money off of later,
Yeah.
that's why I rated this higher.
Okay. Well, we can meet in the middle with Adam and call it 9.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
It's 9.
This is actually working better than I thought it was going to.
Well, the listeners at home are totally fucking confused. They have no idea.
Oh, they're fucked. They're fucked.
We'll clean it up at the end for you.
It's like they're listening to a podcast about trigonometry or something.
No, they're listening to a Steiner math podcast or a Steiner math promo.
Yeah.
Last official...
Matt Stryker to do the teaching for us.
The few who are still listening.
Unsubscribe. Last official reign, and this would have been the WWE Undisputed title. Defeated Triple H on April 21st, 2002. Lost to The Undertaker May 19th, 2002. Official length of reign, 28 days. And I had this at number 9, but I'm guessing this falls in at number 8.
I have this at number 11.
Wow. The length of reign?
Because he didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, I got
You know, besides that it was short, so it's less than a month. It was pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I don't think he even beat... I mean, there were no pay-per-view matches in between, so no matches that were big. I doubt he even defended it on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I don't think he did.
No, I could see your rating.
No, he just walked out playing it like a guitar for 4 weeks between pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But to me, it showed that WWF saw value and money still in the Hulkamania character.
Right.
And they were willing to put him at the top of the card. Granted, it was a last hurrah.
Yeah.
Sure, I get it. But it showed that they still had faith in Hulk Hogan. And to me, it still wasn't as bad as his 4th reign and his 5th reign. And that's why I put it at number 9. But I can put it at number 8. I'm good with you guys putting it at number 8. That's kind of the last open spot. So that's...
Originally, this was lower in my list, but with the context that we've done to fill it up, I could move it up into 8 spot.
Okay, so should we clean this up then and really lay it out for people? So we've kind of gone all over the board with numbers here.
Oh, no, this is the most convoluted fucking podcast anyone's ever heard.
Oh, 100%.
Right? This is the...
But now is where we tie it all together. We'll put the crazy glue on it.
This is not a good episode.
No. Whose idea was this? What the fuck?
I think it was yours.
God damn it.
And I knew it was going to be a mess.
Boys and
train of
girls,
thought-
grab a beer and do some math, baby.
All right, wait. We ask you all do a shot, and then now we're going to wrap it up for you.
Yeah.
So, number 1 on our list is his first official reign as WWF champion, where he defeated the Iron Sheik. Second reign, or second overall, is going to be his 7th official reign in WCW, where he defeated the Giant. Third overall would be his 8th reign in WCW, where he defeated Lex Luger, still as the NWO champion technically. 4th overall is going to be his 2nd reign in the WWF. 5th overall is going to be his 6th reign as champion. That was in WCW where he defeated Ric Flair. 4, 5, 6th overall reign is going to be his 3rd championship win in the WWF. 7th overall reign is going to be his 9th championship, which was in WCW. 8th overall is going to be his 12th reign.
Undisputed.
His undisputed. 9th overall is going to be his 11th championship win. 10th overall is going to be his 10th championship win. 11th overall would be his 4th win. 12th overall would be his 5th win. So thank you for following along. I hope you enjoyed your shots and your Steiner math.
Yeah, I think you wrapped that up nicely.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
33 1/3% effective.
Right. Yeah, if your head's still screwed on, right, go have a drink.
Do we just throw fractions into this one?
Yes,
as well?
we did. We did.
Dang.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it. I think we got this. I'm actually surprised we... I
Didn't
thought
go
this would have
to
taken...
as much war as we
Yeah,
should have.
I would have thought this would have taken 3 days.
a few
Just like
surprises,
that.
but we're gentlemen. We discussed them
I have
properly.
And I have a gentleman's buzz.
Ditto. Should I run through it one more time just to give the numbers? 1, 7, 8, 2, 6, 3, 9, 12, 11, 10, 4, and 5. There you go. Look up his 12 wins. We're not counting those other 2 screwy ones we talked about at the beginning. That wraps it up. That's it, and that's all.
So let us know what you think. Show us your report cards and how you're going to celebrate getting your particular ranking list all assembled. Definitely want to hear what you think about it. And hopefully your brains did not melt as much. I mean, schools recently just restarted. I hope this was a good lesson for all of you parents.
I'm sure it was a great lesson for everybody.
Yeah. To those of you who are parents, try to do some math with your kids, and bless your hearts for growing our education system. That takes care of Hogan. That takes care of Hogan's reigns
I don't even know what he's talking
with
about.
us. Just want to quickly remind you to always enjoy your buzz, watch wrestling responsibly. Drink like nobody's watching. Also, in the meantime, do wash your hands, wear masks, stay 6 feet apart, and get those T-shirts on whatmaneuver.net. So you look good. So you look good whether when you're attending virtual school. That'll be a conversation starter. That takes care of it. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hulkamania 5.
Cheers.
Just one axe and it's too late. Hands in the giant and the bushes too. Just one axe and they are through. Get your bodies Hogan, son. Hogan, you're a champion. Get your bodies Hogan, son. Hogan, number one. Mercy, mercy. From Tokyo to Rocket 3, Hogan is too strong for me. Action, action is Hogan's game. Action gave him fortune and fame. It's your bone, is his name. Hogan is our champion. It's your body's Hogan, son. Hogan is our champion. It's your body's Hogan, son. Hogan is number one. It's your body's Hogan, son. Hogan is our champion. It's your body's Hogan, son. Hogan is number one. It's your body's Hogan, son. Hogan is our champion. It's your body's Hogan, son. Hogan is number one. It's your ball.